Our next guest is Managing Director of Young Heinrich Ireland. I hope I got that better than Michael Moriarty.
I'll correct it.
All right, okay, thank you very much. And I
have to say it myself.
Okay. He started the company in August 1996 and employed initially in sales, moving on eventually to be appointed Managing Director of Sales. Now there's somebody I need in KFM, definitely. Before he moved to Young Heinrich, he had 10 years experience in industry generally, in sales, but particularly in the aircraft industry, which I'm intrigued about. And he's a graduate of engineering from DIT Bolton Street. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big welcome please to the Managing Director of that company, who will correct his name is correct now, Des Kavanagh.
Right, good evening everybody. First of all, I'll go back on them years. In 1980, I was just got married at 23 years of age and was going straight out into the workforce and tackling all the challenges that brings. And in 1935, hopefully I'm with my father down in the nursing home in Maynooth, enjoying the flavours of my retirement. But I think that we have to talk about the present, and the present is what I encounter on a daily basis within business. I just ask, and many people here are in business themselves and working in the private sector. Good, that's a good, so there's a few people on my side. The jobs that we're creating, and I have a company that has over 100 people in it, and we've grown it from 16 up to 100 people in the last couple of years. So when we went out into the work placement, we found out that the quality of people that were coming to us was pretty poor. In 2013, I have 9 jobs that I have filled. And what a struggle. Honestly, what a struggle. We had graduates coming to us from universities from around the country who have no life skills whatsoever. I run a business, not a charity. So I need people coming into my workplace who can hit the ground running, and from that, generate what I need in the place is revenue. I don't have time to babysit children that are coming out of college that just all talk about what they did in the drinking and where they went and where they did in Erasmus and all like that. I don't have time for that. So the educational system has to stand up and say to itself, we need to look at what we're doing today and the way we do it, because it's not working. It's definitely not working. Again, I ask you a couple of questions, and many people have children here who are working abroad. I've got them. 2 of mine are gone, out of 3. The 3rd one is a teacher. So good old teachers, they're got good. How many of these have earned degrees in Irish colleges? Mine again. But the crucial thing, and the job that they're doing abroad, many of them are using the degree that they actually gained in college. Probably very few. I've got a big struggle. What I've got in my place is what we're churning out from a language point of view. We're in an unfortunate environment that we're a country that we all speak English in. I remember there was a program on the telly there not so long ago where this Chinese guy stood a pin in the map, and he said, where would I learn the language from? He stood to pin the map. It was a short story, quickly. He stood to pin the map and he picked Ireland, so he went and he learned Irish. I don't know whether anybody's seen this program. It's absolutely brilliant. He came to Dublin and people thought he was speaking a foreign language. And I think it was one of the old actors, the guy who used to be in Father Ted, Feck, what's his name? I can't think of him. Yeah, he was the guy sitting in the bar, and he started conversing with this guy, and the guy behind the bar says, "Jez, I never knew Jack could speak Chinese." So, what are we churning out of our universities? We're churning out children who think they have a God-given right to get that job that they go for. Have they got the life skills and the skills that I need in the workplace? Very few have. They have a degree. Yes, absolutely, they have a degree. And that degree is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. But at 23 and 24 years of age, whatever age, or maybe 25 or 26 if you go out to do a master's, that age to come out, I don't have that position for them. I just don't have it for them. So we're producing 163,000 children per year through the education system. We don't have 163,000 jobs for these children. So we have to rethink what we're doing. But what we do have is 160 jobs, or 160,000 jobs for people who don't have expectations that are up here so high. That we need to start looking, and we need to now, and be totally honest with you, what we need to do is that we need to rethink what we do. And I think that the colleges have a big issue here. That the purpose of the college is not to feed the college. The purpose of the college is to feed the students the right information and the right education, so that when they come out into the workforce, we have children who are well-rounded and that can come into your workforce, mix with your employees, and actually start to produce something for us. I feel that it's the wrong way we're doing it at the moment. We need less colleges, less courses, and what we have, and the company I work for, is internships. This is the way forward. In Germany at the moment, in the last couple of years, I've had at least 2 per year. Where instead of the guy coming out of college and looking for the job, it should be reversed. The child, whether it's a lady or a gent, should actually get the job first, and the colleges should suit the educational need of the person who's in employment. Now, that mightn't make a lot of sense, but it makes sense to me as an employer. What I can do, back to the old apprentice scheme, sorry, but it's back to the apprenticeship.
Yeah.
We've produced kids that wouldn't pick up a spanner or whatever. We've a few of them. I'm probably the only company in our industry that took on apprentices this year. I took on 2 of them. I took on 2 last year and 2 the year before. I had to struggle with FOSS to get them on the course because they don't have enough apprentices to run the course. What a shame. Plumbers, carpenters, all that's not dead anymore. We need these people. But because we put up the shiny, when they're 16 and 17, the shiny days in the college, come to this college and let's see what we can do in the college. And all you see around the college is all the different programs I can compete in. The drinking programs, the this program, the that program, the sports programs, all the different things. Woo, happy days. I'm back in my childhood again. I can keep on, and mommy and daddy can keep me at home. Then they come to me for the interview. Oh my God, some of the people I've interviewed in the last year, and these are highly, because I had a project engineer, a junior project engineer's job, and the people that I interviewed were very poor for it. They were shaking when they came in, they had no confidence, there was sweat in their hands, there was everything to do. That's because they seen the job as the next stage in their life. Whereas the job should have been the first stage in their life and the education should have been the next stage in their life. Because some people are going to college now that didn't even do a proper leaving cert. They got 100 points, 110 points. I'm not saying that you don't educate these people. What I'm saying is that the top line jobs are very few. These jobs in NASA and wherever else are very few. The jobs that are abundant out there at the moment are the day-to-day tasks that everybody has to do. So I just feel that the education system is probably letting down the business sector, the small business sectors like ourselves. And the people that sort of come to us have been through college and have this expectation that they can earn big money and come in and be the managing director before they've even swept the floor in the place. This is causing a lot of problems because when they come in and then next minute they're gone into filing or they're gone into something menial, they don't want to do it. So then conflict starts and hassle starts. And before you know where you are, you're into disciplinary procedures against them and all like that. So I think that children today should not be seen as a commodity by the colleges to fill their spaces, because we made a bloody industry out of colleges, I can tell you. I see more colleges now than I've ever seen. I think industry today should fight back and demand that we actually take on young kids, 18, 17, 19 years of age, take them into the workforce, and then go to the Lice Minute or wherever it be, and they develop the courses around what we need. Because if we don't do that, we're going to have an awful lot of people at 30 and 35 years of age with degrees who have never worked. And I feel that can be frightening. It can be frightening for, not for me, but for the children of the future generations. Because if we don't change what we're doing today, we will end up with a very highly educated workforce with no work. That's why we employed so many different foreign nationals here in the days, because we hadn't got the children to do it. And they seen this, they seen the jobs that we were asking them to do. Oh, I'm not doing that. It's like when you, and that stems again probably from our expectations that we wanted our children to go to university. We as parents have to stand back and think too, that the employer needs a rounded person. Absolutely, a degree is a fantastic thing to have, but I think the degree through the internship is the best way, and that means on-the-job training plus working back to the apprenticeship that we have before. Again, I just say, and finish up, is that I admire anybody that can go to college and find the right job for them and make a good career out of it. But they're only the few. The majority get into the dead-end job and have this degree behind them. And they always say, why did I do that? Have I wasted 4 years of my life or 5 years of my life? I don't believe they have, but I believe if they were in work with me from an early age and working through, I think we would have made a better rounded person of them with the degree. And then they would be really a workforce to contend with. Thank you very much.
That's certainly novel and thought-provoking. I think the one theme that I hear all the time through Des and across the other speakers is this question of expectations. But you have different sets of expectations. But you have expectations of the employers, expectations of the education system, expectations of families, and not least expectations of those looking for that super future. And as to how that all can be brought into a common theme is interesting. The struggle to fill vacancies, I think any of us who are running a business will know that we've all encountered that particular idea. Relevance of degrees coming up again, but again, relevance to what? It brings back the debate again to what are schools, particularly second level and third level, what are they equipping, or what are they required to equip people with? Can the educational system be so specific in its preparation that it can cater for particular industries? And Des's treatise there, or premise, that maybe let's send people with particular job skills to universities, to job appropriate courses, is a way of turning it around from that point of view. He mentioned the idea that colleges need to suit the need of employers. But I wonder, it could be revolutionary, maybe they do and maybe they don't. Should colleges not essentially suit the needs of their students primarily in that whole person approach? Or should it be so specific to industry that the educational system is going to become so narrow and so specific that everybody in it will possibly lose the type of people skills, communication skills and everything else that are needed? But as he says, there isn't much point coming armed with degrees under your arm of the highest calibre if they don't prepare you for the world of work that you want to pursue. And we'll pursue those with you in a couple of minutes' time, because he makes the point that children are not a commodity. And they're not. They're not a commodity for the education system or for industry. They are real people, and it's an extremely complex challenge.
A lot of the talkers tonight want to get back to the basics, type of apprenticeships and you know, that type of trades again. College needs to listen that it's not just a place for everybody, it's a place for the people who are suited for college. And business need to start looking at different ways of employing people. Not just taking them on because they have a degree in whatever it be, but taking them on because of who they are and what they can do for you. So I feel that, whether you're listening tonight, I hope so, because I'm not getting any younger, but there's a lot of younger kids coming on. We've got a bigger growing population. My daughter's a teacher, and she's teaching some of the most wonderful kids out there, but I don't feel we're teaching them the right things. We've got to change. If we don't change, we'll have an awful lot of kids unemployed in the future, and that's not what we want, because someone has to pay for my retirement somewhere. And that's the problem the Germans have at the moment. Not enough children, but they've got a lot of well-rounded people, but not enough children.